to my feet and step out onto the tarmac into the gray Carolina night. In front of me are many soldiers. They're encumbered by a very heavy weight. It's the weight of a parachute, a reserve parachute, a weapon on their side, and pounds of equipment. We all waddle forward, struggling to make it to our destination. The smell of jet fuel permeates the air. It's a sweet, sour, sickening smell, but it's familiar. At the same time, we continue to struggle forward. I can see the lights on the tips of the aircraft wings. There's red, there's green, and the back end of the aircraft are open. They shine a phantom-like hazy green out of the back. We continue to move forward, and the propeller blast slaps me in the face with hot air. And finally, towards the end, I reach the ramp to enter the aircraft. I step on, and I take the time to think, why do I do this? Well, it's really not for prestige, it's not for glory. And the $110 a month that I get to do this isn't worth it. It's not even worth this one trip out there. But I think the reason I do it is for the risk, for the challenge, for the excitement. It's a commitment I've made to my friends, to my unit, and it's a commitment I made to myself to be courageous. We shuffle to the back of the aircraft, and each of us takes our appointed seats. We sit down, and it's a yellow-red mesh that lines the inside of the cargo hold. I strap myself in and get ready to go. I see the back end of the aircraft close, and a red light comes on right by the two side doors on the airplane. The plane taxis to the runway and takes off. And I sit and look around at the people. Some are laughing, some are joking, some are teasing each other. It's a favorite pastime during these times. Others are just asleep, and some are sitting quietly contemplating, thinking about their wives, their children, girlfriends, some thinking about home. Others still just thinking about life. The plane is flying a pattern called Nap of the Earth, which means it's just hugging the tops of the trees. And with each rise and fall, I can feel my stomach jumping up and down in violent heaves. Really start feeling nauseous at these times. The din of the engines is broken by the sound of two voices. It's the sound of the jump masters. 20 minutes! I hear, and I become alert. Start to look around, start to get ready. My heart starts to pound, and I feel a bead of sweat dripping down the back of my neck. 10 minutes! I know it's getting ready to go now. We're ready, and the jump commands start. I'm not going to go through them all for you, but I will tell you what we do. We go ahead, we stand up, face the back end of the aircraft. We go ahead, we hook up. I hook my static line onto the cable that runs from front to back on the length of the aircraft. I put a retaining pin through, and I go ahead and run the static line through my hand, making a loop, run it back over my shoulder. Then go ahead and check it, make sure everything's safe, make sure the static line's good. We check equipment, and from the back end of the aircraft, I hear the sound off. It's the equipment check. All clear, all clear, all clear. And from behind me, I'm in the front line. I hear all clear, feel a slap on my hip, and say, all clear, jump master. I move from there to shuffle forward a little bit. The side doors of the plane fly open. And what we feel is a whirling vortex of wind. It helps to cool us and to ameliorate some of the nausea that we have started to feel as the flight has gone on. The jump master leans out. He's actually hanging outside of the aircraft right now, and he's looking for the landmarks to go ahead and determine where they are. And the Air Force Loadmaster is right back here at the back end of the door. We can still see the red light shining. The Loadmaster taps the Jump Master. Jump Master says, 1 minute. I know it's getting ready, and I get really excited. My heart starts beating and pounding. I am really, really ready for this. Although I'm starting to feel scared too. It's normal. I think you're crazy if you don't start to feel scared. And then 30 seconds. Then I hear, stand in the door. I hand my static line to the jump master, and I stand in the door. I put my foot on the platform. I put my hands outside the aircraft on the frame, and I feel the wind tugging at my face as we're moving forward pretty fast. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I see the green light turn on, and I hear, go! I jump out, and I've done this drill thousands of times. I'm 800 feet from the ground, and I start to count. 1,000. I put my chin on my chest, arms tightly into my side, hands on the reserve parachute. Bend forward slightly at the waist, feet and knees together, knees locked back. I'm falling free. 2,000. Then I go ahead and start to feel my body rotating. It's moving around. And I can see the moon shift into my field of vision, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the plane behind me traveling away, paratroopers still dropping out of the back end. 3,000. The opening shock of the parachute catches me, and I see my feet quickly rise up over the horizon and then start to fall, and I begin the quick descent to Earth. I look around. There are other paratroopers falling as well. They look like they're being lowered to Earth by giant green balloons. The moon is casting strange shadows on the ground, and I start to see the sand coming toward me. There's no trees near, thank God. That's always a good thing. And I start to get ready. I lower my equipment, I drop my weapon, I feel them tug, and I bounce. And then, as I start to see the horizon approaching and the tree line getting lower, actually raising up in my field of vision, I go ahead and get ready to land. And it's a drill I've done again thousands of times. Feet and knees together, toes pointed down, knees slightly bent. Bend forward slightly at the waist, arms over face, chin on chest, and I feel my feet slam into the ground. Then my calves, my thigh, my buttocks, my side, and actually what happens, I'm like a big banana. And my body just kind of flops over, and I land. I release the riser to my parachute collapses, kind of feel myself, make sure that everything's there, and then I slowly get up, collect my gear, and walk on to the assembly point.